Yesterday I made some turkey stock because today I'm making some turkey soup. You can look up how to make turkey stock and you'll see my video on that. But the stock is all ready and I had it in the fridge overnight cooling down. And once it cools, the fat kind of hardens on the top. So I'm just going to skim that off before I make my soup. I'm just going to take that fat out of there, get rid of that. It's not very much, I'm surprised. I had a little bit of olive oil heating up on the stove. And before I put all the veggies in the soup, I like to fry them up a little bit and bring out the flavor. So I'm going to put, this is about a cup and a half of carrots. I'm going to throw that in the oil. There's about, I don't know, 2 cups of onions. We like onions, so I'm going a little heavy on the onions. You might not like that much. And I've got chopped up some garlic here. Throw that in there. 1 clove of garlic. And then the celery. Got about a cup of celery. I'm going to throw that all in there. And I'm going to sweat that down a little bit just to add a little bit of flavor. Let that go for a minute. I'll soften those veggies up. This has been on for about 5 minutes, and you see it's sweated up pretty good. The onions are a little translucent, and they're softened up a little bit. Just like to bring the sweetness of those veggies out a little bit. So now I'm going to pour the turkey stock over the vegetables. So now I'm going to add a little bit of salt and pepper to that. I added a lot of seasonings yesterday when I made the stock, a lot of sage. And I put a sprig of rosemary in there. And what else did I have? Some thyme and bay leaf. I'm going to let that simmer for a while, and when it heats up, I'm going to give it a little taste and see if it needs some more spice. But right now, I'm just going to leave a little bit of salt and pepper in it, let it go for a while because I want to taste it when it gets warm. Just make sure I don't. Next thing I need to add, I've chopped up 4 medium-sized potatoes into cubes, and I'm going to add that to the soup here. So that'll just simmer. And the starch in the potatoes will thicken that soup up quite a bit. So if you don't want your soup too thick, maybe you want to maybe only add 2 potatoes. But I like a hearty soup, so I'm going to add 4. Yeah, so I'm going to just thicken things up. And I'm going to also add a little bit of parsley now, and I might add a little bit more just before serving. But I like the taste of parsley, so I like it to cook. Turn the heat up a little bit. I'm going to bring that to a boil, and then I'm going to turn it down to a simmer and just let it sit there for a while. And in a little bit, I'll taste it and see what it needs. Okay, this has just come to a boil. You see it's got a good, nice rolling boil there. So I'm going to turn it down to simmer. Probably take about, I would say, 45 minutes or so before the potatoes are soft and the carrots are nice and soft. Before that's ready to eat. So let's turn that down to low. And I gave it a taste, and it was still kind of bland, even though I put the spices in the stock yesterday. I'm going to add a bit more today to spice it up a little bit. I've got some thyme leaves, dried thyme leaves. I'm going to put a teaspoon of that in there. It's about a teaspoon. Again, I'm not measuring anything, I'm just eyeballing it. After I do this, I'll probably taste it again and see what else it needs, but you know, this is to your own taste. You might like different spices in there. Some people put turmeric or curry spice, red curry spice in there. But I'm just doing the basic soup today. So I'm going to put a couple bay leaves. And of course some salt and pepper. What did I do with it? Here it is. I'm going to shake about a teaspoon of salt in there. And a good shake of pepper. Now let that simmer for a little while and I'll taste it again and I might adjust it. But that's, you know, that's making soup. You just keep tasting it and putting in what you think will taste good and make it better. Okay, this soup is now done. The last step is to put in the shredded turkey. I've used mostly the dark meat from the turkey that I saved. I've still got some white meat left in the fridge, but I shredded it up with just my fingers and nice bite-sized pieces. And then I'm just going to put it in the soup. I tasted it as I went along and added a few more spices, a little bit more salt and pepper and a little bit more sage, but I stuck with the 1 bay leaf. Now it's ready for the turkey. It's almost done. I'm just going to put the turkey in and heat it through. And I think my soup is done. I tasted it along the way a little bit, ended up adding more salt and a little bit more sage and thyme, and I just left it at the 1 bay leaf. So I think it's tasting pretty good. So we're ready to dish it up. I'll show you how it looks here. I've got quite a few vegetables in mine. You don't have to add that many if that doesn't appeal to you, but I like my soup chunky. And there you go. Homemade turkey soup.